Hey Yagaho to you men of jazz out there who have been waiting patiently for a Utah Jasmine playoff game. Finally this season we deliver as champions of the perfectly respectable Silver Division, coming in at 7-5 minus whatever differential, doesn't matter, made playoffs, and we are going up against a team we have faced before this season, a team we have defeated before through a combination of covert cruelty and overt savagery, the Real Marill, who are the first wild card because they have the same record as their division champion, just a little bit worse differential. So clearly we are the lower ranked of the two division champions, so that means we get the higher ranked of the two wild cards, which is theoretically the harder of the two wild cards. We got our leading lady in the background there looking on, and we're going to get into this game momentarily. This is arguably the biggest game we've ever had here. Last week was probably before the biggest game, as it was a de facto playoff game for myself and Tup. And now we have made it in, so we're going to see how far the Silver Division can go. We're going to see what he has here. We got Gothitelle, which was not brought last time, Weavile, Mega Blastoise, Roserade, which is a huge threat as always, Talonflame, and Uxie. So we got Registeel on the bench this time, as well as still on the bench Goodra, Zebstrika, Golurk, and Primeape. So, what do we have here? Major threats, of course, we have once again, Blastoise is his only spinner, so we want to get rocks up because those two, tier 1 threats right there, Weavile and Talonflame, and even Gothitelle being a tier 1 threat as well. Can trap a couple of our guys. Let's actually take a look and see what guys we got. So we got, yep, he's back, Sableye the franchise, but we don't have swagger or swag play. Now the reason for that is after the week 4 game, Miguel went on a roller coaster of good hacks going his way. You know, it seemed like for all the world that game it changed something in him, and he really started firing all cylinders. Kind of embraced hacks a little bit more. You know, being kind of the nature of the game. RNG is kind of a major factor in this game, so because of that, we're not going to bring swagger. Also, as I don't think it's going to throw off his game anymore, like it did before. So instead, we have Confuse Ray and Chill. Now, I came very close to having it be literally Confuse Ray and Chill because I was considering to run Attract as well. But as you can see there, he has a very mixed-gendered team, so I decided against Attract in the end. I'll go ahead and say what all the moves are. So moves, we've got, it's pretty much the same set as before, except we don't have Swagger, so we don't have Foul Play. We got Confuse Ray, Recover Sub, and Will-O-Wisp. So this is once again our primary switch into Mega Blastoise. We got a Block Spin. And I believe, I don't remember if I was fully special defensive last time, but this time it is fully specially defensive in order to take hits from Mega Blastoise a little bit better. So that is Sableye this week. Clefable, now Clefable, if you guys didn't know, had a contract that it had to be brought to all 12 regular season games. That contract did not extend to the playoffs, so Clefable was not necessarily a slam dunk bring this week. But in the end, after going over a lot of the rest of the team, I decided that, yeah, I want Fable for rocks, and you can see the two other guys on the right side. Passing a Wish to them would be really good. So Fable's got its pure support this week. It's got Thunder Wave, slow stuff down, Stealth Rock, Wish passing is going to be attempted. We are physically defensive to deal with Weavile and Talonflame, I guess, because we're unaware. So just in case Swords Dance Talonflame comes in, we can take the hit and T-Wave it. And what is the last move there? Well, I put some blanks there, and if you guys are familiar with certain pop culture songs, you might be able to figure out what it is. I'll give you a hint. We brought it because it is a pseudo-hazing move, and it's one of the few that Clefable actually gets. Now, as for Clefable's item this week, Sableye's got leftovers. Now, we could have put leftovers on Clefable, but we have Wish, but not Protect, which means that every time I Wish, I'm probably going to want to pass it to somebody else, which means I don't honestly expect Clefable to live very long, nor do I expect Fable to be able to, take a lot of hits. And so if we're not going to take a lot of hits, then what's really the point of leftovers? So instead, we're going to do some Pocket Sand in the form of Bright Powder. That's right, Bright Powder is back on Clefable. Gonna cast the light of the moon in some people's eyes and see if it can work. So there we go, that's Fable. So the main, the only Pokemon switch actually we have here, instead of MegaGallade, which was vastly threatened by Talonflame there, instead we have Staraptor, who did really well at the tail end of the season, coming in with Choice Scarf this week. We do have a Scarf Quick Attack, which will out-prioritize an Ice Shard from Weavile, as well as a Brave Bird, obviously from Talonflame. We are very slightly above Other Bird right there in terms of speed. I actually have a curious EV spread. We got a little HP and a little defense, around about 80-ish of each, which actually lets us keep a good amount of HE and actually caps, I believe, a Sharp Beak, Jolly Brave Bird at like 74% max. So it's a Stealth Rock switch in, and I'm free to do that and then actually endure a Brave Bird, so that could be a potential play we get set up. Rather like the spread, we got Brave Bird, Quick Attack, U-Turn, and CC. In case of Registeel, decide to drop Double Edge because Zebstrika is going to get to it KO'd anyway, so there you go. That is Staraptor, kind of our instant physical offense type drop in right here, our only thing that's actually going to outspeed Roserade, so, that's kind of a major threat to the team. Last time we had Empoleon as our designated Roserade switch in. This time you see we got somebody else there, but I ended up being AV after all because I was putting moves on it and I was like, well, these are all attacks. So I'd like to be able to live Mega Blastoise a little bit better. I intended to put mostly physical defense on it, so I think it actually ended up being like split defenses though. So we got Flash Cannon and Scald to hit the two major threats there, Weavile and Talonflame. We don't have Ice Beam this time actually though. We got Grass Knot from Megatoys, and once again I think we had Aqua Jet last time, which is also a move that we can use against the bird and against Weavile because we do resist their priority moves in the form of Brave Bird and Ice Shard. So just overall nice and tanky, and Empoleon's done really well for us this season as well, so he's gonna get another go right here. And I'm sorry guys, like I let you guys down this season. We have not clicked Head Smash through 12 games. Mother lover, we need to click Head Smash in this game. It will be attempted at some point, I will promise you guys this. As with the moveset, last time we brought Aquatail, he didn't bring Golurk, which was the only thing Aquatail was there for. This time I decided, well, there might be a scenario where I'm up against, something that like Registeel, or maybe I've already got a Rock Polish up, and there's a Uxie there, wants the T-Wave, it will be able to live a hit because of its natural bulk, but we can maybe put up a sub, and that could be good. So now, when Aggron uses Substitute, if you guys aren't familiar, it's not playing with dolls. Aggron, when he puts out a sub, it's an action figure, so, just to clarify that, it's action figure is the name of the move when it is used by a manly Pokemon like Aggron. So, we have, of course, the best move in the game. We have Rock Polish, so we can jet around like blue hedgehogs going around there all over the place, going to outspeed all the things, barring Scarfs. And then Low Kick to hit Registeel, which even with Light Metal, still has 100 base power, so there's no reason to run EQ. And also will give us a, in case we don't want to click Head Smash against Weavile, just in case. So that's the deal with Aggron. Pretty standard. So, and finally, our last round pick, which was our 10th round pick because of the franchise, we got Weezing coming in once again, and I figured, you know what? This is a fully specially defensive Weezing. I actually bred. I think this is actually the only new breed I had to do. Everyone else I pretty much had in the box, just had to re-EV. We had to breed a new one. It is Calm with Max Pedef Assault Vest because it resists Roserade Stab. So this is our attempt to not have Roserade do a ton of damage. The other reason I had to rebreed him, or breed a new one, was because he's got a fun move that I absolutely love. It is Mr. Hyde's move, and I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. You might see it, you might not. But if you know what it is, if you have knowledge of one bad game, and knowledge of another bad game, the other bad game is Pokemon, then you might know what the move is, so that's that. Post in the comments if you know what it is, and I'll give you a clap emote if you can correctly guess what the fourth move is. So that is the team, and this is it's playoffs, so win and we got into the game, which I'm not thrilled about, but I'll take it. So yeah, that's it. This is the team. We got Aggron again. Oh, also we're playing on X, if you guys didn't notice. No Brendan. No more Brendan, please. No more Brendan. I hate Brendan. Done with that. So ready for Sun and Moon to come back and give me the ability to customize my outfit once again. As you can see, of course, Miguel doesn't have any Auras necessary things. Mega Blastoise was, of course, in XY, and we are not bringing Mega Gallade, which is only in Auras, so... Because if it's not bringing Mega Gallade, we can play on the good game, the good 6th Gen game. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get into it. So last time I led up with Uxie, feel like he might want to do that again. Oh hey, look, no Brendan on my stream. And indeed he does, and the thing I want to do about that is lead off with Raptor Bird. So got the lead off prediction correct, and we're just going to be here to U-turn into Clefable and probably trade Stealth Rock is kind of the first couple of turns that I had pre-planned out in my mind. And so far, that seems to be what we're going for. We could Brave Bird. It'll do maybe half if he's not super physically defensive, and then we would get T-Waved, and that would be bad, so not interested in that. We're going to see Clefable come in on a Thunder Wave and pass the con save for Thunder Wave with Flying Colors. Not going to get subjected to that paralysis condition just yet, lads, and that's some Bright Powder kicking up. You might have seen the camera shook a little bit there. That was me fist pumping a little bit. That Bright Powder once again has done what it is supposed to do. And I don't care if it works again for the rest of the game, because it worked one time. So, we trade Stealth Rock, as I kind of expected, and around this turn I'm thinking, you know, we got Rocks up. In case he does get a spin-off, even though I'm going to try to block it if I can, in case he does get a spin-off, I would rather save Fable so that I can set up Rocks again. It also obviously has full life, because if Gothitelle comes in now, I can't do anything to it, and it's just gonna kill me. Yes, I'm unaware if it's going to be Calm Mind or something, but that doesn't matter, because I don't have a single attacking move. So, we're gonna go into Empoleon instead, which is gonna take a Thunder Wave. Now, why are you throwing Thunder Waves on Fables and Empoleon? Is that... I'm pretty sure everything on your team outspeeds that. You're just going for hacks right here, and I don't know how I feel about that, but, it's alright, I guess. Anyway, so Empoleon is now in here paralyzed. Obviously did not U-turn, and obviously would not have gone into Gothitelle most likely after seeing Empoleon be in there. But, you know, Empoleon having the AV and having lots of stuff, good and tanky, and, you know, hit stuff with Scalds. Good stuff, good neutral poke to have out there in general. Been doing a great job for us this season. And he's going to fire off a Scald right here. Now, last week against Tup, as we see a critical hit U-turn, that's kind of rude. Empoleon got switched into a Scald. Very first Scald got burned, didn't get to EQ that Tentacruel, didn't like it. So we see a Scald, and on the first Scald we get a burn. So Empoleon, you know, turns and like shakes his flipper, his flipper at Tentacruel. As now he too has received the turn 1 broken move burn. So yeah. So, he's probably either going to spin or Focus Blast here, and both of those would be good moves to go to Sableye on. However, I really want to do as much damage to this thing as possible, as I think a combination Grass Knot plus Burn might kill it, and if not, Aqua Jet should. So I'm just going to stay in and go Grass Knot, and he is going to Rapid Spin. So that does literally 1 damage because of the burn and resistance and 40 base power. And gets him down low enough, and I'm just going to Aqua Jet. Quick click, and indeed that is going to be able to pick up a KO. I don't know if he probably predicted Aqua Jet, but probably just sacked it is going to be my guess, based on how quick he clicked his move. So it definitely saves us from having to take a Focus Blast or whatever move he packed for this AV Empoleon, which still has pretty close to full life, and we have not gotten fully paired yet, so that's something to be considerate of. Because, you know, we give our Pokemon Poffins and stuff. Or Pop, what are they? Is that what they're called? Pokepuffs. Pokepuffs, that's what they're called. Poffins was 4th gen. So we had relatively full health Empoleon in here versus a Weavile. And I could switch, but I could also Flash Cannon. And I think I'm just going to stay in Flash Cannon. He doesn't even low kick, he knocks off. And we see no Life Orb, and that does about as much as I was expecting it to. Weavile has, you know, decent special bulk for a sweeper, and that was stab, but I also have no special attack investment, so pretty much what I was expecting to do. And no Life Orb, so that looks like that's gonna be no item Jolly, kind of a mid-range-ish roll on that. I think it did 82 points, so that's something. He's not gonna be killing himself down with Life Orb, and he got Rocks off the field, so this will be able to come in and potentially go on a tear later. You know, he doesn't have to worry about taking Life Orb recoil. So my initial guess is gonna be Lum for Sableye burns. That's gotta be my guess, but I think I'm just gonna, I'd take a long time here. I believe in the end I just go Aqua Jet and see what comes in. It is gonna be Gothitelle, And we are going to need a little bit of an Aqua Jet damage off there. And I got 80 HP, and I obviously can't switch. So we are instead just going to click a Scald and see what happens. I believe he will need special attack investment to kill me. So even though I did lose my Assault Vest, it'll still should be able to live if he doesn't have too much special attack investment. But we'll just see. So we're going to... Scald will be the best play. Seems to be the case, especially since we might get knocked down in the Torrent if we survive. And indeed, here comes the T-Bolt, and we live on 7. And actually, we live on 6, and get off a nice Torrent-boosted T-Bolt on there, so that's pretty sweet. And I believe we just are going to Aqua Jet here, as I expect him to just go ahead and finish me off, and we'll just get this thing down a little bit lower. Probably won't kill it, but he actually decides to save it with a little bit of HP, and switching this guy, which we got paralyzed on anyway, so we don't get to see what kind of Roserade it is because I didn't get to deal that damage, but that's also the first time I've been full parried in like 6-7 turns, so we have been like very good on passing our con saves to not be fully paralyzed so far in this game, as well as in the game against Sam, so don't bother with the para-hack strats. They appear to not be effective, even though Weezing did a very poor job of passing his con saves in the Week 4 game. So we're just going to Aqua Jet here and get a little bit of damage on there, as I expect him to kill me off, but he doesn't kill me off. He wants to set up sub. And now we see it's got Black Sludge. If we had seen it as Black Sludge, then I would have known it was not some sort of Specs Roserade. And yeah, so Empoleon, I could go ahead and let him just go down now, but I do have a dedicated switch in to this. I'm not sure how well it's going to do against this variant, but we do have AV Weezing, so here he goes, and he eats the Giga Drain up about as well, maximally as well as a Weezing possibly could. So there is that. We got Empoleon hanging around for, you know, switching to rocks. I don't have a spinner, obviously, because that's sort of been the nature of this squad throughout the season, is that I feel like I don't need a spinner. So we're just going to click Sludge Bombs, I believe, because they should be enough to break the sub, unless he is a bulky variant. And indeed, it is going to be a sub-seeder. And it's kind of going to be a bit of a problem, because you can see between Black Sludge and that thing, it's going to be covering just about all the sub damage, depending on what. Well, there's no damage variation in it, so it's going to be covering like pretty much all of the sub damage. So now, how do you defeat Subseed? Well, you can either Infiltrator, which we don't have. You can Pseudo Haze him out, which we don't have. I have Pseudo Haze, but that doesn't go through sub in the form of Fable. So I'm kind of just gauging damage here and seeing, like, are we making any progress? If we can at least get this thing weakened down from using sub, that might be alright, but we're not really making any headway. It's doing maybe low single-digit points. So what I decide to try to do here, there's a very high chance that he does have Sludge Bomb, but I'm going to try to go into Fable here and either A, pass off a Wish, B, set up Stealth Rock, or C, something else. So we took about a Stealth Rock, so I don't know how much special attack he's going to have, and looks like he's got enough to one-shot a Clefable that's not specially defensive, so that is unfortunate that we don't get to pass a Wish or set up Stealth Rock again, so that kind of blows, but, you know, wasn't sure how much special attack he would have on a Subseeding Roserade. You know, sometimes Subseeders will run a lot of defense, so they can, you know, take the hit to get this Leech Seed off. But at the very least, we did reset the Leech Seed on Weezing, so we'll, you know, we'll gain a little bit of tempo, kind of, in that regard. You know, we'll, well, not really. Whatever, we reset the Leech Seed. So we're just gonna go back into Weezing, and, like, I need to get this thing without a sub, and then Raptor can come in and do the stuff to it, so. Still got the sub up, so we're gonna go for Sludge Bomb, and just hope it keeps breaking the sub, which, based on, you know, actually one-shotting there, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have too much HP, and we're able to get a Dexterity save pass by Weezing on the Leech Seed, and that's gonna be pretty huge. That is commonly a very horrible thing for Subseeders, is that Seed does not have perfect accuracy, and it kind of showed there, so because of that, he doesn't have Seed on. And so I Sludge Bomb there, I don't have Seed on him yet, so I think he's going to set up Seed this turn. So now I'm going to reveal Fire Blast. Last turn I thought he might sub, expecting Fire Blast and hoping it would miss. So this turn I am going to go through a Fire Blast. He is going to Leech Seed, and we are going to connect the Fire Blast, and that's going to deal some pretty decent damage. Unfortunately, between Leech Seed and Black Sludge, that is not going to keep him under a sub range. So, but at least it is going to put him in a, definitely KO'able range by most things on the team of HP, even though we only have, like, one thing that outspeeds it, which is Raptor, so there's kind of that. But at least that should put it in range for a U-turn. So we're going to continue to go for Sludge Bomb here. I thought about going for the Mr. Hyde move, but that might or might not break a sub for reasons. So, yeah. So he's actually going to just opt for a Sludge Bomb here rather than go for that. And holy carp, if I had Fire Blasted there, that would have been a dead Roserade, and I would have had a live Wheezing. So we get, I don't know, knocked him down pretty low. Don't know if it was a roll or not. Might have been a high roll, and he just had a guaranteed chance to live. So don't know. But anyway, could have Fire Blasted and definitely picked up the KO, but I definitely felt like that was the safer play, just to make sure that we get him in low HP without a sub. So I can drop in Raptor here. I would really like to keep Raptor coming in once to Stealth Rock at 75 so that he can live a Brave Bird and from Talonflame, and then threaten with something besides Quick Attack. But there's not really anyone else I want to go into here. I don't want to go into Aggron and let him take a big hit from Giga Drain and let him get back all that life. So whatever. I'm just going to go into Raptor here and threaten this thing out. We're going to U-turn. If it goes into Uxie, we'll see about it and go from there. If he wants to leave it in to die, then it'll die because it doesn't have... Roserade doesn't have the best physical defense, even though I believe it got a physical defense buff in 6th gen. So gonna go for a Scarf U-turn, and it should knock it out, or should give us initiative, so that's what U-turn does, and I don't really need to explain that, although I'm actually thinking about going for Brave Bird just in case he does want to switch in Uxie to take it, and that is actually, in fact, what happened. So we could have stayed in and gone for that twice, but I guess at the same time, that would have put me with the Brave Bird recoil below where I'd want to be for Talonflame, so we just U-turn to Sableye. And we got maybe some stuff we can do to this thing. I don't think it can touch me that much. We've seen 3 of its moves. Don't know what its last move is. I'm kind of gonna, for the moment, assume, I guess, foul play. So, just so we wouldn't have to put any sort of offensive investment in there. U-turn doesn't really count as an attack when not when it's coming from a Uxie anyway. When it's coming from Staraptor, yes. But we're going to, I believe I set up a sub first in case he wants the T-Wave, and he does show the Gleam. And that's going to be able to do well enough to break a sub. Although, since we are especially defensive Sableye, and I can't imagine he's got that much special attack in, it's probably not going to do much more than breaking a sub, so we can easily live one. We're going to go for the Confuse Ray here, and see what happens, and hits himself. Nice. So that's going to give us some tempo to set up a sub, and maybe recover, and get some stuff going on. Maybe eventually put a burn on there, start whittling it down faster. We see no lefties, so I'm not quite sure what item it's going to be. I'm going to assume Colbur for the moment, because Mega Delayed. Knockoff stuff going on. Hits himself 2 times in a row, so they only got a sub, and we are sitting quite fine right here. So we can Wisp, or we could recover, and I believe, what do I opt to do? Either one would be good. Well, it looks like we're going to go with Wisp, but we can actually... because he's starting to get whittled down there from confusion damage, and now with burn 2 is definitely going to be dead on the next turn if he does not opt to switch out. So, and he kind of has the Dazzling Gleam to break the sub. So we're going to recover back to full life, and I believe actually at full life, as he is indeed going to sack off the Uxie to break the sub, from full life we should actually be able to live anything but a Choice Banded Brave Bird from Talonflame, and you guys know how I would feel about a Choice Banded Talonflame clicking Brave Bird with a certain fella we got in the back. So anyway, here's Smoking Bird, and we are going to click Confuse Ray just in case he opts for, I guess, anything except Brave Bird. And here comes a Brave Bird. This is a special defensive Sableye, and that did like 1 less than half HP. So I don't know what the carp. That has to be, unless this calc I'm looking at is wrong, that has to be like a no attack, like bulky Talonflame. We do see leftovers, so that makes me think he's got Roost, makes me think he's got Will-O-Wisp, makes me think he's got other stuff like that. But yeah, with the lefties game, we should be able to take another one. So I believe I just click recover here, and go ahead and get back up to full life. And we'll see what it wants to do. It might still Swords Dance, and that could be bad. But at least he's confused, so he's going to hit himself right there. And I don't know what move he went for, but it wasn't a flying type move because we did out-prioritize it with recover. So I believe, what do we go for here? We do... well, we can't burn it. And I guess we click sub? Yeah, because we'll take about half from Brave Bird and then sub and do some stuff. So we're going to click sub as we see what he is going to do. And whatever he did last turn was not a flying type move. So we are going to get the sub off, and he's going to snap out and gonna taunt. So yeah. Sableye has 4 status category moves, and we can't click any of them, and he just snapped out of confusion, so there's kind of nothing to be done here. Now, my boss, MTG Xerxes, always says, never waste a good sub, but you gotta know when it's a good sub and when it's not a good sub. So this is one of those cases where it's not a good sub. I'm not really interested in staying in here and click and struggle. So I kind of want to get the boss god in, but just in case he decides to get cheeky and Flare Blitz or something. At this point also, even if there's a Will-O-Wisp situation, I think we might be alright. So we're going to sack off Empoleon. And here we go, guys. I call upon ye from the mountain on high to descend and bring your wrath upon my enemies. I ride the vanguard! Boss Gonora! Aggron's gonna make his appearance here. I'm expecting... well, we've seen taunt. I'm gonna click Rock Polish, and I'm expecting he might want to taunt, and he wants to leave. And that's gonna result in a Rock Polish from Aggron. So, not, in fact, blocked by taunt, and... you know what it's time for, everyone. It's time to click that move. And that's a Roserade dead. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. We got 4 guys left. And that's all that stands between us and moving on in the playoffs. So, this one guy, we're going to pop his bold prediction up right now, said that we would lose in the playoffs because we would miss that almighty powerful move. So, we're going to see in the next couple turns as Aggron's jetting around really fast. Gothitelle, head smash, click it, hit it, kill it. It's gone. It's not gonna be around anymore. 2 pokes left. Weavile. Now I could be awesome like Battler X and head smash this, but we're just gonna click low kick. So yeah, low kick. So we don't have to worry about missing that, and that just means there's a bird left. And with that, one more head smash to hit, and of course we're gonna hit it, guys. We have bonded with our Aggron since 4th gen. And that with just like that, Aggron, once again, propels us to a victory. For our first ever playoff game, I would say this went way above your wildest expectations of what this game could have been. Lived up to the hype, exceeded the hype as far as what people were thinking this game was going to be like. Coming in based on the Week 4 game, you knew there was going to be some kind of Sableye shenanigans going on at the very least. A lot of you guys in the comments last video were definitely pushing for some crazy stuff to get brought this week. Full-on Swagger, T-Wave, Sandvale, all sorts of bonkers stuff. We didn't quite go all in on it this week, but we definitely had a couple of tricks up our sleeve, and definitely there was a lot of... there's this thing in Pocket Monsters called a random number generator, and if you look at a lot of games that have been played this season as well as in seasons past, a lot of them have been decided by this random number generator. It's almost like it's a very integral part of the game that you really just gotta learn to accept and roll with, and it's also a major reason why it's really not worth getting upset over a children's video game. So, yeah. But, what an ending, right? Just, I still can't believe this. I still feel like this is a dream. And is this real life? Is this actually finally happened? The Boss God, first drafted by the Utah Jasmine in Season 3, has been now through 3 seasons where I have tried to do what finally happened today, and what a grand stage for it to finally happen in, having done it plenty of times in 4th Gen, but finally, I believe for the first time in the League format, we have gotten the Boss God to do what the Boss God is really good at. So, those of you who are Utah Jasmine fans, I'm sure you're having a party in the comments right now, and hey, party on. Party on. For those of you who are Real Marill fans, I kind of have to apologize to you, not for the sets I brought or the way I play, because I own that, and I'm not changing that for anybody, except maybe that lady in the background right there. Might change it for her, but I do have to apologize because I may have made one of your favorite YouTubers quit Pokemon. I hope not, but I might have. So if I did, I apologize. But, Anyway, we're going to move on to Pokemon of the game, and who do you think it is? Look at the 2nd and the 3rd letter there. That pretty much tells you what you need to know. It's a steel-plated dinosaur. Just wow. Tom of the San Jose Sharpedos, I believe we would say was the first. I believe he would describe himself as a victim of the Boss God, and yeah, he knows probably as well, if not better than anyone. And if you don't prep for Aggron, you're probably gonna get beat by Aggron. And I really thought that after week 4. That Miguel would bring something on Talonflame, whether that be Natural Gift Ground, which kind of made me want to run Protect, or, you know, at least like Will-O-Wisp on Talonflame to do something to Aggron to immediately threaten it. I don't think Will-O-Wisp would have actually mattered in this specific case. He was kind of in a weird spot where he had Taunt. I don't know that he was necessarily expecting me to Rock Polish in his face, but surely the thought crossed his mind, and at that point it was kind of a question of, do I want to lose my Talonflame, or potentially somebody else, or do I want to lose the match? And he kind of chose the latter, so there was that. And that one guy with the prediction, bold prediction, come on, man. What you guys may probably know is that we are the only coach. We are the only coach in the entire league. That Aggron that you saw on the field right now, do you know where it started? It started in an egg that was obtained on a riverside. It proceeded to be flown around and traveling around on a bike for a pretty lengthy period of time. Probably around a large, like, tower in the middle of a city that's way too freaking big. And then it might have actually hatched somewhere else. I forget exactly. And it hatched into a little baby Aeron. And that little baby Aeron got to bear witness to a shiny Gardevoir, blue Gardevoir, mowing down some Weeping Bells and Arbok and Wingulls. Got infected with the disease, but that's fine along the way. And then started mowing down, watched the Mega Rayquaza mow down some Blissies. And that little Aeron grew into a Lairon. And that Lairon grew into a Boss God. And nobody else does it that way. And that's one of the reasons that we won this game. So, yeah. That is how we do things. And that is one of the major secrets to the Utah Jasmine's success. That and that random number generator thing that I was talking to you about a couple minutes ago. But that's going to be that. So, let us look ahead, because we're not done, are we? No, we're not. We have the Conference Championships next week. That's right. We won the Silver Division. Silver Division champions. But now, next week, we got a chance to become Johto Conference champions, and what a great feat that would be with all these crazy good teams that we got going on. And we are gonna be, you know, there's 4 teams who are not gonna have that chance. There are already 8 teams who also didn't have that chance, and there's only 4 teams left who are gonna have that chance to be a conference champion. 2 of them will attain the title, and 2 of them will not. and I am quite glad that we are going to be among the 4 who have the chance to obtain the title. Now, you might be wondering, Cooper, I bet you're proud of yourself using all this, this confused ray and recover and sub, nonsense. How do you feel? A bit proud of yourself? I'm playing a children's video game. If you feel proud of yourself because you played a children's video game and maybe you won, then what are you doing? You're playing a kid's video game. So it is not worth getting that excited over. It is not worth getting upset over. It is a video game. It is meant to be fun. Have a good time with your friends. And that's what we did today. Because generally when we bring an Aggron, it's a good time. So what I am proud for, though, I'm proud for you, the fans. I'm very happy for you guys because you guys have been waiting a long time on a playoff game to come at all, and to be able to pick up a win, and especially with the ending that we were able to get. You guys have really bought in, and remember, we're also the only team with a theme song, so every man of jazz is behind us, and that's gonna be pretty good next week when, as you can see right there, I don't know who we're going to be playing against because it is Sunday morning and they actually still haven't played. So it will be either the Philadelphia Scissors or the Atlanta Haluchas. Between the two, I'm personally leaning towards wanting to play Atlanta for one reason. Because I'll get to play on X, because Chimp has Mega Diancie and that'll make me play on Oris, and I don't want to play on Oris. I don't want to see Brendan again. It's awful. Terrible. So, the first game against Chimp, we lost 5-0. It was pretty crushing, but it didn't destroy our playoff chances, obviously. And the game against Fizz, he was kind of under for Gliscor. Was able to bluff some speed on Volcanion, which made it a 2-2 timeout victory for us, but could have been a 3-0. So, either way, there's going to be lots of changes. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking through this season with me. It has been a bumpy one as far as like uncertainty and whether or not we're going to be able to continue making videos, and thankfully everything has worked out. Every time I thought there was going to be whoops, we're not going to be able to do the videos anymore, they've always been false alarms, and I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, currently it's looking up, and I think we are going to be able to finish out this, and things might actually get even better sometime soon. So things are looking up for us, and yeah, thank you guys so much for all your support. Got at least one more game for you, and a some sort of a wrap up at the end of the season, whenever that may end. So we don't know. Could be one more game, could be 2 more games. That's not more than 2 more games, but results to be determined. So definitely go and check out tomorrow. This should be up, the Philadelphia versus Atlanta, and root for whoever you like. And then hopefully I'll see you back here next Sunday for our game against the winner. So that being said, later days.